The Gumball is a non-competitive vol-biv tour of the Alps. Saint Andre Les Alpes. This was the group in 2024, but Maurizio is not in the picture. Why? We need to take a step back. My name is Alan. I'm Maurizio's AI assistant. I follow him everywhere, and I try to keep him safe. First of all, vol bivouac means flying and camping. These are the equipment of some pilots. The pilots carry all they need inside their big backpacks. Maurizio arrived in Saint Andre a few days earlier, just to practice a little. He lives in China, and there, for a series of reasons, he cannot fly frequently.
This is an understatement. I've flown just 5 hours in 1 year before going to Europe for the Gumball.
So, before I was interrupted, I was saying that Maurizio came to Saint Andre a few days before the official start of the Gumball, just to practice a little bit.
Yes, I need to tune up a little bit before flying to some place that may be dangerous.
In Saint Andre, the atmosphere was already very friendly. Maurizio met some very nice people. Among them, Frederick and Charles. They are experienced good pilots.
No, still didn't arrive. Yesterday, the British Airlines lost his glider,
yes.
but the lead...
Inside the van, my pilot started to bother people, and he had the opportunity to talk with George.
Georg is a super nice guy from Germany. In those days, I had some nice flights around, and I ended up in Lac de Saint-Ponson.
On 12th, the group was arriving at Saint Andre, so on the 11th of July, Maurizio decided to fly back to Saint Andre Les Alpes from Mont-Guidon.
Nice flight, good training, facing a strong wind in many places. It took almost 6 hours to arrive in Saint Andre.
The next day, the first to appear was Jakub from Poland. Then Marcus and Jamie from the UK. They cooled down and they had a nice chat. Until the sky broke loose. It was raining horizontally.
Yes, it was a mess. My dirty clothes and equipment got a little wet. You don't want to mix sweat and rain on your clothes and then pack everything while it is still damp. So, considering the strong winds were expected the next day, I decided to wash my clothes and take a break from flying.
Come on, Ted, hold in there. It's a good test.
After a few hours, the other guys arrived, and it was pizza time. The ideal goal of the Gumball is to arrive at Talman in Slovenia, following a variable path along the Alps. The wind the next morning seemed to be lower than forecasted, and the guys decided to give it a try. Maurizio stayed in the camping to wash and dry everything. Later that day, he regretted a little his decision to not flying. The guys took off around 12. It is worth to precise that the main reason to take part in the Gumball is to have fun, and fun means to stay with the group, land together, eat together, and have a great time together. So, Maurizio missed this part.
Yes, it's all true, but I'm scared to fly close to people. So I missed the first day, but I got a little bit of company the next days.
Tim is the organizer of the Gumball. He flew the path many times. so he was leading the group. Steve was doing well, but he did not feel like going on, so he decided to go back to the official landing and give a try with Maurizio the next day. For Jeffrey and Jakob, this was the first Gumball, so they landed safely after travel block. At this point, probably Tim decided to take the west route, but he changed his mind and he came back with the group. I see an anomaly here. Maurizio, can you see it?
Let's see. You mean Craig?
Yes, he is at his second Gumball, and he is flying a Class B paraglider, but he is keeping the pass with much higher performing gliders. The most are 2 liners C, and some pilots fly 2 liners D. Cyprian from Romania tried the shortcut, but he could not hook to the other side, probably also because of the strong valley wind. The rest of the group managed to connect to Mont Guillaume. Some of the guys could not pass Le Barral, and they decided to topland and camp around Pic de Chabriers. Jack, Tim, and Nigel, all from the UK, decided to topland and have a nice camp here, close to La Pilastre. So, to the end of the days, this is the situation. Jeffrey from the Netherlands and Jakob from Poland, far south. Cyprian from Romania just to the other side of the lake. Then, around Pic de Chabriers. Jamie, Craig, Fraser, Marcus, and Chris from the UK. Some pictures from Jamie. A little more west we have Nigel, Tim and Jack. About transfers. Chip probably walked to find a takeoff for the next day. Jeffrey probably mixed hitchhiking and hiking to move about 50 kilometers north. Jakob hiked a few kilometers to a possible takeoff. Maurizio, I prepared some statistics.
You know that numbers in this case means nothing. Many times, pilots stop flying because they want to land close to friends, because they are hungry, tired, or for 1,000 other reasons.
Yes, I'm aware of this, but I'm used to elaborate, so I really need to put out numbers.
Okay, go on.
Maurizio and Steve spent the night on the mountain. In the morning, they prepared to take off from Saint Andre Les Alpes.
Okay.
Another guy from Poland was taking part in the Gumball raffle.
But Maurizio is up there.
You too, man. See the glider, the condition of the glider. Seems to be good, huh?
The guys took off around 11:20. Maurizio went very low in a couple of places.
Yes, at this point I struggled quite a bit, but I managed to find a thermal. Unfortunately, a strong west was pushing me out from the route I wanted to take. I wanted to go to Cheval Blanc, but I had to give up on that idea. I went for the Mur Frais, but it was all broken and in rotors. I almost gave up on the flight.
Steve played safe and decided to land. Finally making some progress, Raffle chose a better line. A little far north, Jeffrey and Jakob were getting some distance. They connected easily to Mont Guillaume. At this point, the entire group was in the air. I got a nice thermal and I reached the cloud base. Raffle was the first to arrive at Pic de Morgon, but then he tried the shortcut that didn't work. Jakob did not pass Pic de Chabriers and landed close to it. Jeffrey managed to catch a good thermal and connect to Le Pilastre. Maurizio followed a non-conventional route, passing a little north of Le Morfroid. Then it became a race against the sun.
Yes, I tried till I understood that it was not possible to arrive to Chamrousse. So I got in the flat to try to hitchhiking. Actually, I landed in a field surrounded by a ditch, a sort of island. Took me a while to get out of there.
Maurizio landed after 8 hours and 7 minutes, a slow flight for a total of about 134 kilometers.
I was very lucky. The moment I got on the road, Jim was passing by. He took me in the car. I don't speak French, and he doesn't speak English. But with the help of the mobile, we could communicate.
A few hundred meters before the main road, Maurizio spotted a McDonald's, and he told Jim that he would have offered a dinner.
This is Jim. He helped me a lot to arrive to Chamrousse.
They had a nice dinner. After that, Jim told that they should have gone to his house to take another car, and that he would have helped Maurizio to arrive in Chamrousse.
Thanks, Jim, for your warm company and your help. I really hope I can see you again one day. I really wanted to reach Chamrousse, because I knew the next day wouldn't have been flyable, and I wanted to spend some time with some of the guys that were already in Chamrousse: Chris, Marcus and Jack. I met Chris during the previous Gumball. He came to meet me in Chamonix, and we had a portion of flight together. He is always positive and smiling.
Let's summarize the day. Tim decided to transfer to Annecy. Almost all the pilots decided to follow, by car or in some other way. But why? James, a friend pilot, a very nice person that lets you feel part of the family.
During the evening, some telegrams arrived, and I envy the guy so much.
Hey guys! Say hello to James, Bruno, JJ, our very genial hosts. Yeah, Gumball 2024, this is where it's at. anyone who's not here is a loser. Yeah. This is why we've gathered here. We got some...
We came for the friendship.
We have a team barbecue. Look at this, amazing.
James hosted me and David the year before for some days. We had some flights together and a great time. Furthermore, he gave me some strategic advice and some pre-flight frustration management tips, weather-related.
You've got a friend who's coming, she's flying down in a minute.
However, I arrived at Chamrousse around 2 a.m. and I picked up the tent close to the road. In the morning, I washed my clothes and I charged my power banks and instruments in the tourism office. No rush. I knew that it wouldn't be possible to fly. The wind was going to be strong.
In the while, Nigel was experiencing strong wind on top of a mountain.
While up here, I've got one took off at Chamrousse. Crazy wind. Hope it's good further north. Have a good day, everyone.
In Chamrousse, we had a nice time, eating, resting, and chatting.
The rest of the group in Annecy decided to have a try in Col de Fer. There the wind was not so strong. Tim and Craig went for a jacuzzi before the takeoff.
Follow that, Tim. Oh. Yeah, stop. A great flight, guys.
The day was not working out, so later they met on the ground. Maurizio, Chris, Jack, and Marcus decided to fly despite the low cloud base.
So this is Chamrousse right now. This is the official takeoff. The other guys, they went...
Jack and Marcus wanted to have an early flight. The only way this was possible was to go to take off south, but that is a dangerous takeoff. And if you consider the low base, you risk getting trapped in Alps d'Huez for days. Something that happened.
So Marcus and Jake, they just took off and...
Fair play to Jack and Marcus. Don't know if you can see him there. I'm just topping out on that mountain now. I took off on the southeast horrible gnarly mountain top over there. And they've got their reward. They're going to fly around the back and I guess to join the Grenoble Valley. They have got that to look forward to, which, well, I hope it's better over there than it is this side.
Maurizio and Chris decided to wait and take off later in the official west takeoff. But the base was not going to lift.
North side.
Soon to become a bus wanker.
He will join the club of the bus wanker. And I still didn't decide what to do.
And we waited.
Yeah.
And waited.
Could have an opening coming up here.
Yeah.
And waited.
You go?
I think I might wait for a little, see if it clicks a little bit.
Yeah.
Then, to avoid the
look, my
risk of
glider.
getting stuck on top
From
another
the back
day,
now.
we decided to glide down to get as close as possible to Saint Hilaire. spotted Chris landing, and I was not going to go very far, so I decided to join him.
Chris, come to play! I mean, there is a bus to Saint Hilaire now?
No, not now.
Oh. It's okay.
At least I had some fun on the ground.
Let's see a summary of the day. Raffle took off in the wrong place and was soon caught by a strong West Valley wind. Later he transferred, probably by car, to this other place, where he had a short flight. Jakub also had a couple of short flights. Marcus and Jack were forced to land by the low base in Alps d'Huez. Jeffrey, Steve, and Cyprian gave it a try, this time flying from the Aravis. But the day was just not very flyable.
I and Chris had a glide down and we landed a few kilometers from Saint Hilaire. Chris had an appointment with some friends in Annecy, so he left. I decided to camp where we landed and to wait for a bus next day, but Joe and Jordan, two nice guys who were practicing ground handling in the landing, kindly offered to take me close to the official landing, where the next day I could catch the bus for Saint Hilaire takeoff. They also offered food, and they asked if I needed something else. So nice people. Thanks, guys. Later, I found the perfect spot for the tent.
The same afternoon, the group decided to take a bus for the Balcon de Aravis. Some 40 kilometers far north, because the next day the base was supposed to be low and they did not want to risk being stuck another day in Annecy.
Well, Cyprian and Steve bailed on us tonight. They flew down to the landing field. Steve wanted a steak, couldn't face an adventure pack. This is our some of our accommodation here for the night.